For a long time now, I've been working on building more trust with myself, others, and life at large. A part of that process has been staying committed to my morning routine, which took me several years to solidify. Most days when I wake up, I honestly don't really feel like doing it at all. But showing up for myself, especially on those days that I don't want to, are how I've proven to myself over and over that I can trust myself because I follow through on the promises that I make to myself. I've noticed that any time I've taken a few days away from my routine, I usually wind up feeling super off and disconnected. And with all the rapid changes that I've been experiencing this year, my mental and emotional health has taken quite the toll, which makes my morning routine that much more important for me to stay on top of. In my last video, I shared about how I've been keeping an eye on my thoughts, especially in regards to how I talk to myself. I've been continuing that practice of self-empowerment, which comically made my ego mind ramp up its efforts in amplifying and playing out those old negative beliefs I once held about myself. After losing a lot of my close connections over the last year, it really triggered me into self-preservation mode, and it's been quite challenging for me to let my guard back down and to feel safe to open back up to invite new people into my life again. I've been dealing with a lot of fear, worrying that my past will just keep repeating itself, and so I've had to double down on my efforts in maintaining the most positive mindset that I can and reaffirm to myself that the best is yet to come. I've noticed that anytime I work on healing a part of myself, I tend to overshoot my mark and wind up in a full pendulum swing on the opposite end of the spectrum in regards to how I respond to life. I went from giving my trust to others way too quickly to closing myself off from the world. I usually hang out in the contrast for a while until I feel safe enough to swing back toward the center of the spectrum and learn to balance my energy there. Thankfully, I've received a ton of beautiful blessings this year, which have helped me to remain focused on the good in my life. I've learned that no matter how many years I've been doing all of this inner work, there's always still more to be done. Anytime my ego starts to look for evidence and make a case that the past is repeating itself, I simply catch the thought and remind myself that I have much better discernment these days, especially after learning all of those hard lessons firsthand. There's no such thing as healing a pattern and never having to deal with it again. It usually just shows back up in slightly more obvious ways as another opportunity to re-solidify the wisdom that I've gained through past lessons. I've also learned that our mind doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. And so if I allow my mind to ruminate on past hurts for too long, I can easily slip back into a negative mindset if I'm not being conscious of my inner dialogue. Part of my healing work that has played a massive role in building more trust within myself has been learning how to reparent myself. Before I proceed any further with this thought, I just want to mention real quick, in case you're new here, that I'm not blaming my parents or using them as an excuse as to why I or my life turned out the way that it did, but rather I'm empowering myself to look back on my past experiences in order to learn, heal, and grow from them. I like to believe that everyone is doing the best they can with what they know. Whether or not that's actually true, I know that I get to decide how I perceive the world around me, and I'd rather focus on the good in others because focusing on the negative only brings me down. After taking several deep plunges into my childhood memories in order to heal past traumas, it's given me the ability to see all the ways in which I lacked the type of parental caretaking I needed in order to feel supported, to thrive, and to face challenges with more confidence. Most of what I was in need of growing up was physical affection and emotional stability. It hasn't always been easy for me to identify my needs or how to fulfill them myself, but with consistent practice, I've been able to self-soothe in ways that never seemed possible for me earlier on in life. Asking myself questions like, what did I need growing up that I didn't receive from my parents? How can I give that to myself now? In what ways have I abandoned myself? How can I show up for myself more fully? All help me to understand how to love myself more fiercely. Some daily practices that help me to stay more balanced include movements like yoga and dancing, which help me to maintain a sense of groundedness within my body. Journaling, reading, and taking long walks in nature help me to feel more emotionally balanced and connected to myself on a deeper level. And keeping a closer eye on my inner dialogue and adjusting my thoughts when necessary help me to be the mother to myself that I always wished I had growing up. I've learned that all of this inner healing is a lifestyle that requires consistent practice and effort to stay the course, but a journey worth taking nonetheless. I've noticed, just like with my morning routine, the moment that I think I'm good and I don't need to keep checking in with myself, I usually fall right back into a negative mindset and inner dialogue. And so I keep making it a point to ask myself the moment I wake up, how are you doing today? What are you in need of? Starting my day off like this sets the tone for me to periodically check in with myself throughout the day so that I can keep an open dialogue between my inner child and inner adult, letting her know that she's always safe with me and that I won't abandon her or make her feel ashamed. There's really no quick and easy way to form a new habit other than to consistently do it enough times until it becomes second nature for you. It just becomes a part of who you are. And on the days that feel too challenging to stay on top of my habits, instead of berating myself for messing up, I simply say to myself, you're doing the best you can, I'm so proud of you, and I love you. Checking in with myself and filling up my own cup is what helps me to build a solid foundation of trust with myself. The more I trust myself, the less suspicious I am of others, because I know at the end of the day, I will always make the choice that's most supportive for that little girl who just wants to be loved. I've learned that no matter whether it's trust, love, acceptance, or anything else that you crave, everything starts with you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're interested in working together, I offer personal growth counseling sessions for those of you seeking one-on-one support. I also offer videography and photography services through my website, and I also have a nature print shop for anyone who would like to enjoy a piece of my art in their home or office, which is a great way to support me and my channel. All of the links are down in the description box below, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you very soon.